what I've seen, in the industry is that in most cases, the artist, if they're signing a contract, they don't read the fine print. We're being honest, okay?
Yeah.
Yes, we're being honest here. So they don't read the fine print. They don't really understand the terms of the contract. It's very important to understand the terms of the contract. In whatever you do, even if it's not a label and an artist, even if it's me as a publicist and an artist, it's very important. Even for me, it's very important that when I have a discussion with you, Newa, that okay, now I'm working with you. What do I bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? And if it so happens, because it happens, we're human, we will get to a point where we don't agree on something. And if we do get to that point, how do we then resolve it?
Hi everyone, this is Naomi Hapula here. Today we will be training. Train.
Oh, wow.
I'm joined by Bongi, Maseko. How's it?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
I don't know whether to be offended or should I take this as a compliment?
It is a compliment. I mean,
No, man, no, don't say this. This is
the accent.
this is Sekulu High English.
I'm not going with that. We still have to go back to school and get our school fees because we are not in the line.
We're not defined by how we speak.
Oh yes.
We're defined by what comes here. So
Oh yes.
let's hear what you got about the content.
What are my steps?
Because I can see God needs to order my step for this interview.
But then before we could get into other things, are you never criticized about the tattoos, Barcelona and all that?
At first when I started working with gospel artists, I was very self-aware. Or I was always trying to, conform to what I think they would want me to look like. But as time goes on, and I was also doing my own, self-introspection, and I was like, you know what, I'm in an industry where I'm allowed to express who I am. So me, I like to be artistic. I like to wear in a certain way, and I like tattoos there and there. I've got a piercing, so I am a worst nightmare for anyone who's in the gospel industry. But I'm grateful that I work with people that understand the kind of person that I am. And the nice thing is that they get to know who I am before they can,
Yeah. You spoke about wearing nice things. I just wanted to stand up.
No, no. So this outfit needs me to sit.
Okay. Alright, I get it. Which is good. We never even greeted our guests there. And before you do that, please after that, just tell them who's Bongi Maseko and where's Maseko Consulting, where's and all that.
Okay, sanibonani makhaya, igama lami Bongi Maseko. Recently a friend of mine said, you must embrace who you are, own who you are. Still, apparently I'm supposed to say I'm a celebrity publicist and I'm a celebrity TV producer and an event organizer. So I run a company called Maseko Consulting. I produce television shows. I work with artists, artist management and PR. And then I also I do events as well. Yeah, that's who I am.
TV production and the management artist. Let's go to management artists first. You are in the gospel space. You guys are very mean. You are so full of yourself.
Okay, guys, thanks. I'm leaving.
Why, it's a very difficult thing to deal with a manager. an artist manager?
Okay, no, continue the question. I'm waiting.
I've been dealing directly with main artists. I think you are the first one that I've dealt with regarding an artist and all that. And you never gave me a problem. So I'm just wondering, like, why do artist manager, management or whatsoever are so mean towards people, or yeah, towards people in general?
We're not mean. I think the one thing, the reason why we are hired is to make sure that whatever objective that we come up with as a team, it needs to be met. So as a manager, I need to protect the artist.
Mhm.
So I'll make an example. If a promoter comes to me and say, I want to book a certain artist, I need to make sure that my artist gets the best out of this deal. You know what I mean? So I don't think you can make it as an artist manager if you're not cutthroat.
Mm.
I'm not, but there are certain situations where I need to be cutthroat because let's be honest, people are chanters out there. People are chanters. So I think our position is tough because we need to make sure that whatever that as the team we have planned, we need to make sure that it's met. We need to make sure that the artist, him or her, it's properly managed out there. So that's the reason why we may come across as mean, but we're not. All we want to do is just to make sure that our artist is sorted by the end of the day.
Oh, okay. So that's your explanation. But at least you never gave me a problem to come.
No, I'm a sweet person.
Yeah,
Very sweet.
you're very, very sweet.
Yes.
You mentioned also TV production there. For like you are busy guy on it, like we need to know what's happening behind the scenes, be it at the live recording, be it at the TV production that you'll be doing, or in a sense, like what is it that needs to be made? What is it that we don't see? Because I, for one, know like in the industry, it's not just glamour and whatsoever.
Of course.
There are a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes. You guys, you fight against each other.
Definitely.
You fight for money.
Yeah, you're so spicy. I'm sure you are aware this is not an easy industry, and it's quite small as well, and we're all fighting to get that one piece from that cake. So I think everyone is just trying to fight to make sure that they get they get a slice from the cake. But I think I'm grateful to God that I came through and I said, you know what, I'm gonna do what I love, and I'm gonna make sure that I do it as pure as possible. I've been doing this since 2012, so I'm close to like 10 years now, and to be honest with you, I haven't fought with anybody. I don't have grudges with anybody. I just told myself, you know what, I'm just gonna stay in my lane, do what I know, be as pure as possible. And I think also it's hot, sorry.
Yeah, you can continue.
Okay. So I make sure that I'm as pure as possible. And the nice thing is that I'm a child of God. I'm a born again Christian. So those values as well, they're helping me out.
Are you born again, or you are just in the industry for the sake of you doing what you love, you doing what you know best at?
I think for me, the first thing is I am a child of God. The reason why I specifically, because I'm no longer a gospel publicist. I'm now just a publicist as a whole. I've decided to branch out. But I think the reason why I started off as a gospel publicist was because I understand the music, I understand the lifestyle, and I understand the word of God. So for me, it came natural. It wasn't I have to think about it, or for me it was easy to go and sell a gospel artist out there because I understand the brand and I understand what's needed from the gospel artist. So that's the reason why I started it, because I understood the life. But as time goes on, as a person, you decide, okay, no, it's time to grow. Which is why then I decided, okay, now let me start working with the likes of Brenda, David Lale, Zano, then, I started branching out so that I am not just a one-trick pony. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Who was your first artist in your company?
Swazi Lamini.
Swazi.
In fact, Swazi and David Lale are the two people that convinced me to do what I do. I'll tell the story. Hopefully, I'll be short. So okay. I used to work for ANN7. I was a producer there. I was producing a entertainment show.
The Gupta's thing.
Yes.
Where's the man?
Please. Please. Stay away from that. Stay away. Baleka. Yeah, so I used to produce a TV show there. So I would I think I was the first person that came in and said, no guys, we just need to do a show where we invite artists to come through. So I would invite artists to come through and get interviewed. And then I met Swaz. It was the first time we met, and Swaz just liked me instantly, And she said to me, do you do PR? I said, no, I don't even know what that is, And then she said, you have this thing,
A thing.
You have this thing. We are Tandega, like I connect with you. Can we try and do something? I said to her, no, I won't do that. I cannot do something I didn't study for. She said, okay, cool. 2 years later, she came back. She said, Bongi, are you still saying no? I said, yeah, let me refer you to a friend of mine. Referred her to a friend of mine. Didn't work out. Swazi, if she doesn't like you, she doesn't like you. If she loves you, she loves you, So didn't work out. She came back and said, your friend. I said, okay, let me try out because at the time I was working for SABC. And my network or my contacts have grown, so I knew quite a lot of producers. So then I said, okay, let me try. And then I tried with her. I was like, oh, actually, I can do this, And then I worked for David. And David said to me, can you try to do PR for the TV show? I said, okay, cool. And then I did the PR for the TV show. And then David is very strict. He said to me, please go register a company because now you're playing games. Go register a company. You're good at this. Take this thing serious. And ever since then, the rest is history.
But how do you deal with the different people? Like we have different characters, but in your company, how do you deal with them, with their moods and all that? How do you handle a human being?
Guys also was actually saying that I have a gift. I know how to deal with people. To be honest with you, it's hard dealing with artists. It's hard. And I'm lucky that I'm dealing with artists that have good hearts, that they're good people. So the people that I work with, they make it easy for me, but it's really not easy. It's really not easy. Everyone has their own preference. Everyone has a bad day, Everyone has, issues. Everyone is going through something, but I'm just blessed that I know how to be nice to people. I'm pure, man. I think.
You're talking about pure. I think like once your heart is pure, that's all that matters. Yeah. You did the live recordings and all that. You are still here. You did TV production. You are still here. But 2 years later, we hear, no, man, that company, they ate my money. That company never.
Controversy, yeah.
It's not even about that. What's the issue? What's the thing? Is it maybe the artist not understanding their contract, or the PR team or the management team, like they are just trying to horopa the artist? Okay. Yes. I see it.
Hey. This is embarrassing. Please cut this. I'm fine, right?
Yeah. So like what seems to be the issue there?
I think to be honest with you, I believe that people get greedy sometimes. I'm not speaking about anyone. I'm just this is my observation. I believe that people get greedy sometimes, and they don't think for the next person. So I think for me, what I've seen, in the industry is that in most cases, the artist, if they're signing a contract, they don't read the fine print. We're being honest, okay?
Yeah.
Yes, we're being honest here. So they don't read the fine print. They don't really understand the terms of the contracts. It's very important to understand the terms of the contract. In whatever you do, even if it's not a label and an artist, even if it's me as a publicist and an artist, it's very important. Even for me, it's very important that when I have a discussion with you, Newa, that okay, now I'm working with you. What do I bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? And if it so happens, because it happens, we're human, we will get to a point where we don't agree on something. And if we do get to that point, how do we then resolve it? So it's important to understand the terms of the agreement. And two, I think I advise everyone who is an artist now coming up. I'm like, as much as it's very hard to be independent. But that's the route a lot of artists are taking right now. Because it's easier, you know that you have invested your money, and you know that in the long run, when this thing starts maturing and making money, it comes back to you. So, yeah.
So you would recommend an artist to not to be signed, but to be independent?
Yes, I would. But also, my answer is two-way. I would recommend that you get signed if you're starting up, but make sure you understand the terms of the contract. The benefits of being signed is that when you have been signed, they launch your company, your brand properly. They make sure that you are launched. Radio, you get that covered. Internationally, record labels will make sure that you are launched internationally. Then after that, if you are able to be independent afterwards, I would recommend it. But I still say make sure you understand the fine print of the contract. It's very important. If you know that the contract says you need to give them 2 albums, make sure you are happy with giving them 2 albums. Or make sure that you say to them, I can only give you 1 album. But find someone who can make sure that when you negotiate that contract, it works both for you and the recording label.
You earlier on you mentioned like you were into production, you made friends in the industry there. So I'm just wondering now while you're like, do you guys take a bribe of an independent artist?
Hey, this question.
This guy, he has an album, Owen, but we don't hear it on radio station or on mainstream media. Because they will say, no, it's the compiler, the producer, and all that. So we just want to know what's happening actually there.
You want secrets now? Yo.
Brown envelope.
No, man. We don't bribe.
You take a blessing.
We don't bribe. We don't bribe. We don't bribe. We do things by the book here. You know what, ne? These things are
Let's pretend it's off camera.
No, bro, I can't. Yeah, get my whole life is on the line. No, man. You know what, ne? I'll speak on my own experience. I've been fortunate that the people or the relationships that I've made with people, they are genuine. Ne? And the relationships that I've made with those people, I've never got to a point where I bribe. You know what I mean? But what I do is, because you're my brother, you know what I mean? You're my brother, and especially during now COVID, you're my brother. If there's something that you need, I'll definitely be able to assist you. But I haven't been in a position where I had to bribe. Because in my case, the people that I give the music to, the compilers or the producers, it's people that I've created relationships with. So in most cases, it's people that that trust me, that know that I'm good at what I do, and I also know that they're good at what they do. So it's a relationship where we know that it's no. No. It's a relationship of knowing that we are supporting each other because we all good at what we do. Yeah. So I haven't been in a position where I had to bribe people. No.
Okay. I can like we don't know what's happening. You'll just hear things. Okay, this is what's happening. You don't know.
You know what, Neil? Sorry to cut you. You know what? It's unfortunate that our industry has been tainted badly so much. Because as I said to you in the beginning, I have tried my best to do things as genuine as possible. And I think that's the reason why I'm still going on for 9 years. You know what I mean? Because I'm as genuine as possible. And for me, if something doesn't sit right, I don't do it. So I think if I was at a position where someone said to me, in order for Smang Mang's music to play, I need this amount, I think for me, I wouldn't have done it, because my values,
you don't compromise.
I don't compromise on my values. My mom taught me so much. She was just like, and when you leave here at home, don't forget everything that I taught you. So that voice stays in my head. So whatever I do, I say, will this make my mom proud? And I'm like, then I don't do it.
I think that's what we need. We just need to have a good working relationship.
Yeah.
We don't. The bridges that we cross, so yeah, I think as I mentioned, a good working relationship, it's all what it takes, and having a pure heart to someone else again. But like the hidden agenda, it's not it. Even though this is what's happening, you want to help someone because you want something.
Yeah, no, but as I said, be as genuine as possible. That will get you far.
And how's your company, like Maseko Consulting, so far? It's 9 years now, 10.
Okay. I've been in the industry for 9 years. I launched my company in 2019. So 2021. So it's been 2 years since I launched my company.
2 years.
Yes.
You have Swazi, you have David, you have Mahalia, you have
explain. Can I explain?
Okay, explain.
I've been so blessed now that on my journey I keep on meeting people who are just ready to assist me. I think I just want to give a shout out to Ngubego and Sfiso Kanyile. Those two people really made sure that when I started my company, they said, come, let's assist you where we can, So when I launched my company, I literally just went to Ngubego and said, I want to launch my company. And this is what I want to do. He said, okay, where do you need my help? And he said, okay, cool, I'll MD for you. Bring all your artists that are under you. Let's launch this company, And since that day, so many doors have opened. I was able to work with a group called Divine from Zimbabwe just because of Ngubeko. You know what I mean? So the reason why my company has done so well in just a short space of time, it's because I was blessed to have people that were willing, to say, we are your brothers. What do you need? So I think I'm truly grateful for that. I'm truly grateful. So for me, it's relationships. As I said to you, relationships are very important. So how I got to be where I am today, it's because of the relationship I built over the years.
And I think that's another thing where someone will ask, who did you work with before? And then once you say,
yeah. No, I've been blessed to work with great people. Ngubeko, Sfiso Kanyile is one of the greatest writers. He wrote hit songs like Ngani, Imagine by Doors. That's like a great song.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
It's not Because who wrote the song?
Sister Kanyele wrote the song.
Oh wow.
Right?
It's new to me.
Right? And Dogozo then took the song to the next level.
I was this age when I knew, but okay.
Yes, Sister wrote another song by Mahalia Buchanan, the one of the big song,
Oh yeah.
Sister wrote that song for Mahalia. So he's one of the greatest writers that we have in the state, you know.
The ghost writers, they are very good.
He's not really a ghost writer because he's not a ghost writer because he's his own
in a secular world. That's what they call it.
Yeah. Well, he's not a ghost writer because he also has his own music. He's a jazz artist as well. Yeah. So I've worked with Ngubeko, Siso, and Danzi, Putuma Tiso, Mahalia, Nebagazi, you know, a lot, man. I've worked with Swazi, David, Zano, Brendan Dambo, you know. So those relationships, honestly, when I look at my catalog of people I've worked with, I'm like, okay, this is definitely not my doing. This is God's favor.
Do their time ever clashes where like someone is recording this month, another one that month, and you have to be hands-on everything?
It has happened. When Share Life was recording her live DVD, I was working on that live DVD. On the side, Brenda was also promoting her show. So those 2 weeks for me.
VIP.
No. When she was doing her live DVD.
Oh, okay.
Her live DVD. Your Kingdom on Earth.
Oh.
And then Brenda was also promoting her show that she did at Banya Theatre.
Okay.
So that 2 weeks for me, I was like, okay, multiple streams of income. You showed me place.
But that's what we want.
Definitely.
And that's where we are trying to head on to. So
Definitely.
That we need to survive. I actually thought you were in fashion. I said, okay, gospel means fashion. Oh, that's nice.
No, Lindana would kill me. That's Lindana's brand, guys. I'm not in fashion.
But you do have a good taste when it comes to that.
Thank you.
I must give it to you.
Thank you.
And in terms of TV production, we are going back to TV production. How does it work on that space? How do people go? I mean, from us here, you have seen how we do things here and all that, but then you have a huge experience than us. How does someone with a vision try to say, I want to something like this to go through? What are the right channels to go through?
Okay. I'm going to be very cliche on this answer. The first thing, I think going to school for this is very important.
Yeah.
I studied television and media in duty. And with me, I think God has showed me from the word go what I want to do. Because in varsity, okay, where I used to go in varsity, you would learn all aspects of the technical side, the writing, the what. Fine, I had to forge my way with the technical stuff because I didn't like the technical stuff. I knew that I wanted to be a producer. I knew that I want to put together the whole production. So when I went to school with that mindset of I just want to know how to put together the production. But for someone who wants to do technical, I think it's very important to go, and study for it so that you can understand, everything when it comes to shooting, editing, lighting, because all of those things that they make the good picture, So the first thing I'd say, study. Second thing is, I think passion, man. I think for what you love, what will drive you is the passion. I've done everything that I've done today because I have passion for what I do. So if you love television and you love putting together something, the passion. I know someone who's really great and did not even go to school. I know I'm contradicting my first point, but but I think the passion also, because he loves what he does. He went on YouTube and learned so much. And I was even shocked now the last time when I saw him that he even knows now how to do stuff on After Effects. And I was like, oh, this guy is so you see.
Effects.
Yes. So the passion, that when you have passion, it will drive you to, you'll be hungry and thirsty to know more about what you love. So study. If you have passion, let your passion drive you to that. And research. The one thing about the industry that we're in, the television space, you need to research, you need to
because
constantly,
changing.
things are changing. There's always a new camera. There's always a new light. There's always a new mic. So you need to research, With me, there's always new writing techniques. So I need to always research. So yeah, that's what I would say.
So how do you guys make money? Since you're company.
Okay.
It's, especially in our time now, remotely lockdown.
Mhm.
How do you guys make a revenue?
Partnerships. Partnerships are the in thing now. One of the things that have helped me is partnerships. I partner with certain venues, so they will say, "Please come through and help us get content." This one space that I won't mention, they said we don't have a black market, so we need someone like you come through, assist us with black artists, so that we can be able now to attract the black market. And I think I've done well with that, because more and more of the black artists now are aware of the space, and the partnership has grown. So partnerships are what we make we make our money. I don't want to say it's partnerships, and then the deals I will find for artists. Yeah, the deals I will find for artists, and then also with PR. With PR, I will charge you for my PR services. Yeah.
And how do you do your ratings? Do you check maybe about how big is the artist, or how do you have a standard rate?
I do. I have something what we call a rate card. So then I'll have 3 packages, because I think one of the things when I started, I also wanted to work with upcoming artists, which I do, so I've created a package for upcoming artists,
But you don't exploit them, because these upcoming artists, they are hungry, and they can be exploited easily.
So in most cases, upcoming artists, they're still trying out, so they still, they still putting two and two.
Yeah.
And I've taken upon myself to say, what, I can assist, and then the ones that I know, they make the money, I say option 2 and option 3 is perfect for you. So I have packages, different packages. Yeah, that's how.
So do you artists approach you, or you approach them?
I've been blessed. Artists approach me, and it's through word of mouth. It's important. My ex-lecturer used to say, you are as good as your last performance, and so that doesn't apply on only an artist. It applies even for someone behind the scenes. So if you're a camera operator, you are as good as your last shot. So that's how
you have to make sure, like,
yes,
your end product
is
gonna say, okay, yeah.
So that's how I do it as well. If I start working with Neo, I make sure that when I work with Neo, I deliver 100% as much as I would have done it with Maseko.
So are you gonna work with us?
Well, Neo, I don't know if you can afford option 2 and 3. If you can afford option 2 and 3 now, let's go. Let's go.
I mean, it's all about the relationship. We have a good relationship here.
Yes. Relationships don't put food on the table. Black text.
You're my brother, your brother. Come on, man.
Listen. Yeah, no, brother who doesn't put food on the table. So we'll see. If you can afford option 2 and 3, Asambi.
So there is a moment where you say, like, no, the bond doesn't end here.
I actually every year, when the year starts, I look at my journey, and I look at where I'm going, and then I sit and think, okay, last year this is what I used to do. Is it working? How can I make it better? So one of the decisions that I took this year, I said, you know what, the past 2 years working, I've been doing pro bono a lot. I've been helping people out a lot. And I said, I think now the brand has grown to somewhere where I can now be able to say, you know what, no, I cannot take this, because it needs to grow. It needs to grow, and for it to grow, I need to take it serious. Not saying that I won't help people, but I think now I'm more stricter on myself in terms of
bills to pay.
yeah. Besides bills, this is something that I want to see one day, where I want to see it very big to a point where I've got offices, I've got people that I've hired, that I pay salaries. I want to get to that point, and for me to get to that point, there are certain decisions that I need to take. So one of them was, I have done my bit in terms of pro bono. I can take one a year. The rest,
So it is important to take pro bonos.
It is important to give back. It's very important to give back. It's very important, so that at the end of the day, you know that there's also that one person that you've impacted positively. So it's very important to have pro bono.
Oh, and we are in the space of influencers now. Do you
Yes.
need some?
No. No, it depends on the campaign, man. It depends on the campaign. So if I'm working with someone and we see that it's fit for us to have influencers, definitely we do.
I will talk about that off camera. So
Sure.
we can have something going on there.
But we must have witnesses.
Okay. So what's next for Maseko Consulting as a whole company, as a brand? What's your vision, and how do you see the year ending?
Okay, the vision I'm working on, it's a long term vision. So it's not something that I know that I will achieve in
By
a
end of
year,
the year.
but it's a vision that I know in the next 5 years I'll definitely achieve. And that vision is I want Maseko Consulting to be a one-stop shop. So you as an artist, as you know, will come in and say, I am Neo, I have Afro Soul music, make an example, and I need a live show. Let me say, we have a department for that. And you say, I need a music video. We have a department for that. And you say, I need a brand strategy. We have a department for that, or you say, I want a documentary. We have a department for that. So I want to build a solid brand where, as an artist, you come in our offices and you can find everything that an artist needs. That's the vision I'm working on.
Oh, okay. And you are still getting there.
Slowly but surely.
Hanyane, khato ka khato.
One step at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's good to hear that. And you earlier on you mentioned it was through Mubeka where he gave you that one shot. And I'm just thinking, sometimes it takes only one person.
Definitely.
God will use that one person to change your life.
Greatly so, yeah.
Irrespective of how small you might think you are. David defeated Goliath.
You see, exactly. Yeah, it takes one person. And what Ngobek also said to me is that at one point I wrote a status about him. I said, thank you so much for believing in me. And his response was, what I've done for you, you must also do it for the next person. So once I have opened the door for you, make sure that you open the door for the next person, and the next person must do so. And if we do that, we can achieve greater things.
Iron sharpening iron.
Exactly.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
We're gonna come to the end of it here, but I'm just going to put you on a tight spot. Is there any artist where you say, I'll never work with this one? You don't have to name drop.
Okay. Yeah. I did an event. I won't name a person. I did an event for this artist. This artist was just, when someone, you literally, when you're about to go inside and ask them something, you're just like, Father God, give me the strength. Because, some artists can be just turn them into divas, but You know, today we're good friends though. It's not my close friends, but it's someone that I know. Yeah, but we good. Yeah, but we are good when we meet on events.
How are you?
We talk, we catch up, and I think she has grown as a person.
Oh, it's a she.
Okay.
Yes.
Do artists take creative writers or creative people serious?
I think in most cases, and this advice was given to me by my great friend Brandon Damone, said because at some point I got frustrated. I got so frustrated on some. I feel like people don't take me serious sometimes because I'm a kind of person that just because I own a company, it doesn't mean that I must wait for a cleaner to come and pick up the papers. I'll do it. I'm that kind of a person. If the toilets needs to be cleaned and people need to come, I'll do it. I'm that kind of a person. And I said maybe that sometimes gives people a wrong impression of who I am. And my friend said, you know what? It's not that. It's because when you don't take yourself serious. Firstly, take yourself serious. Then other people can be able to take you serious. So I think as a creative, you must first take yourself serious before someone else can take you serious.
So do you ever maybe give them a direction when they say no longer want to do the certain genre of music? Do you ever say no, but then that's where you are good at, or you should maybe shift from gospel to amapiano?
I believe music, man, is versatile. I believe music is broad. And I believe music, just because you do gospel, doesn't mean soul R&B is not spiritual. Music spiritual.
But we are in that life more longer. Like once you do gospel, you are on the spotlight. Whatever you do, we want you to be within the gospel. Well, that's how we will classify it. Okay, you have to be in that space.
But I think we, the young people, are changing that narrative. We are changing that narrative. Looking at people like Clay Live has done a song with a DJ. But the message is what's important, because the message it's what will say, okay, we can hear this is still a gospel artist, But as I was saying, music is spiritual, holistically. Just because you are saying I love you in an R&B song, it does not mean that that song does not make me.
I mean, Afro pop called Jesus Baby.
Well, that's not what I'm referring to. That's not what I'm referring to. But what I'm referring to is that music is spiritual. Someone can sing about a song that I love you and you have showed me the way, and it's an R&B song, but that song will touch you somewhere, So that's how great music is. Great music is spiritual, and I think it's us people who confuse it, just thinking that because someone is doing a house song, that person is not born again or does not know God. No. That person, because music is spiritual, needs you to be spiritual. For you to be able to take music and put it on paper, you need to be in a great spiritual space. That's what I believe in. So music is broad. So as a gospel artist, if you want to do Afro soul, if the message is there, why not? Why not? Okay.
So you do sign other artists?
I do. Okay. So I've got Brenda, who's an Afro soul, Sfiso, who is jazz artist. Then some people I was still on the charts.
Yeah. You are still on the negotiations.
We're still on the package 1, package 2, package 3 negotiations.
Hey, Cheleta GM South Africa. Bongi, thanks for coming through. I really appreciate it. I was telling KG the other day when we were going through your profile, sometimes like when some people like people like you text us, we don't know how to respond. Because you check someone's profile and say, okay, this is you, Giano.
No, man, we thank God. And, you know, I started somewhere too. And I just want to give you props for starting this. I think this is what we need as a gospel industry. We need something like this. We need a YouTube page where it's purely about the gospel.
Yeah,
So,
and without makeups or anything.
listen, this is chill. We're sweating, tissue, you know.
Because I think we get those things. When did you start singing, my brother?
No. We want a conversation. This was a great conversation. Actually, it feels like it was short because we had a great conversation.
Exactly.
And we have great people that you work with.
Yeah.
So the vibe as well is great. So, man, big ups to you and your team.
No, thank you. Thank you. Please stay for our next segment with Praise Musima. Araisi Musima, Musima. So from Namorama Tlapan Moratipan Musima Gotamu, I'll see you again on the other side of the world. Goodbye.
Hello everyone, my name is Musima Perez and we are still hanging out with fashionista, publicist, award-winning publicist, Bongi Maseko right here on Gospel Chats with Neo. What's a grand?
No, thank right.
It's all right.
After Neil's interview,
That is nice.
I didn't stop sweating.
Yeah, now the cool has come. The cool
Yes.
has come. So we do have a few questions for you. Nothing hectic, just chilled vibes. I mean, we are on chat, right? So if you were to manage any artist in the world, who would you like to manage?
Jennifer Hudson.
Ooh,
Oh, wow.
love her.
Love her.
Sure.
She did so well on the Aretha movie.
Yes,
and I was like,
yes,
just go.
respect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jennifer Hudson. Yes. Jennifer Hudson.
Awesome. And I mean, you help artists with their brands. But if you were to hire someone to help you, would it be with cooking, cleaning, or laundry?
Laundry. I hate laundry.
Which part do you hate?
Ironing.
Ooh, yeah.
Detest
yeah.
it. Hate
Right?
it. Yeah.
And list 2 of your pet peeves.
I sweat.
Mhm.
I hate
You
that.
hate it.
I'm dealing with it now,
Mhm.
but I bite my nails.
Ooh.
And I hate it.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay. Last question. What song would you say sums you up best? Ooh, what a
That
beautiful
song. That song speaks about how great God is.
Mhm.
When I look at my journey, I'm like, definitely this could have not been my doing.
Yeah.
And all this song says, "Ukuphila,"
Mhm.
Yeah, which means God is alive.
alive.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that song
Mhm.
sums up the love that I have for God. Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Ruby,
Thank
for
you so
joining
much.
us. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you guys. Thank you. It's been
Awesome.
great. Thank you.
And you can connect with us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are Gospel Chats with Noah. On Twitter, it's Gospel Chats with Noah. And on Instagram, it's Gospel Chats with Noah. Do not forget to subscribe, to like, and to share.